Do you ever get a request that betrays an insane kink, like a kink that I know you're non-judgmental, which you should be, but does anyone ever say, I want something and you just, no, I can't accommodate this, or I've never heard of this before?
There's never been one that I won't do. There have been so many that I haven't heard of. One guy who has bought several times from me, him and his wife are belly button fetishists. And first of all, I'm so glad they found each other, right? Like,
yes, I was thinking that same thing. They both are. Did they know that before they got married?
You know what? As people, it's for every Mickey, there's a Minnie. You know,
for every Audi, there's an innie.
Yes. That's the quip of the week. That's a good one.
But I've made both of them harnesses that have like big O-rings that like cinch their waist and like push into their belly buttons. And I had to actually reach out to a welder I know to have some custom metal pieces made, because for one of them they wanted like a piece of pipe that was going to sort of push into their belly button. And it was funny because at one point the welder was like, do I need to like smooth out the inside of the pipe? Like, are they going to be fucking the pipe? So then I had to email the customer and be like, is the pipe that you're pushing into the belly button, are we going to be putting any sensitive body parts into the pipe? And he was like, no, of course not. And I was like, I don't know.
You know what? I love that. I love that you're just talking to a friend of yours who's a welder. He's like, yeah, Emma, what can I help you with? So, hey, they gonna be fucking the pipe?
Okay, better galvanize it. All right.
So they're gonna be fucking the pipe. So I'm not gonna go copper if they're gonna be fucking the pipe. All right, let me ask one more question. Hey, another quick question I got for you. They gonna be sticking this in the ass at all? They are. Okay, so all right.
Bruce, we're doing a fuck pipe. Bruce,
we need another fuck pipe. Well, I know that's 6 this week, but just add a 7th. We got it. We can get it done. Man, I love the mundane technical questions. Wow, this is fascinating. This is just fascinating. And so, Emma, I'm told that you have gotten involved more recently in the furry sensation. Is that right? That people wearing furry costumes. Do you attend conventions where people dress up in furry costumes?
Yeah, I attended my first one a couple months ago. It's called Midwest Fur Fest. And for a lot of the furries, which, you know, are people who have their fursuits and their fursonas, and it's this other character that they become, and they're, you know, giant mascot costumes that hide every inch of them. And there's a big community for it. And there is some of them, there is a sexual element to it. For a lot of them, it's not sexual at all. It's just playing. But I vended there, and, yeah, we're showing you right now some photos of a horse and a possum that are wearing leather harnesses over there.
And these photos will be available on Team Coco podcasts on Instagram, just if you want to check these out.
Because you're going to want to see these. Okay, so I see. So you don't make the fur costumes. You make leather harnesses for people dressed up in fur costumes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, mostly for people. I'd say a lot of the people at FurFest who bought from me, it was like 60% of them bought harnesses to wear outside of their fursuits, because there's a big overlap between people who are furries and people who are kinksters, and sometimes they are not kinky as their fursona. It's just a separate thing. So a lot of people bought harnesses just to wear over their normal mortal bodies, but then some people bought harnesses to wear when they're in their fursona.
Oh, I see. Cool. Well, you kept saying fursona. I was thinking of Sona. You mean instead of persona, it's fursona?
It's yeah.
I thought people dressed up as a furry version of Sona, and I got confused.
There was a lot of that there, yeah.
I bet you there is Sona has quite a following, and I bet you someone's gonna go as a fur Sona, and that's gonna become a sensation.
It'd be a huge honor.
Yeah. So this is, and you say some of it is sexual, but you never know. So you could be talking to someone in a furry costume and not know if this is a kink or if this is just them playing around and having fun, but there's nothing sexual attached, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we wrap up, I think there's a really important question that Emma has that I want to get to make sure we hear this question. Emma, do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking, I name all of my harnesses, and sometimes I just sort of pull names out of thin air because I'm running out of ideas. But frequently I name them after people, different characters, or sometimes the first person who modeled that harness. But I want to name a harness the Katakai harness.
The Katakai.
That's good.
Yes.
And I was wondering what kind of harness? Would the Katakai harness, is that a name befitting of like a strap-on harness or like a bustier type of harness?
This is a story
what kind of
that
harness would that be? Sorry, that's my birth control alarm going off, but that can wait.
No, it can't, actually. You might want to get on that. Anything you want to tell us, or everything's good?
Everything's great.
Okay. All right.
My birth is under control.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
Sorry,
all right.
where
well,
were
the
we?
Katakai.
The Katakai harness.
Okay, the Katakai refers to James Lipton, of course, the esteemed dean of the Actors Studio. I told a story once on the show that has just reverberated, and it was about his wife, Katakai, and he says the line in the story, Katakai, as God made her. So I have a lot of respect for the late James Lipton, and of course, and by extension, for his lovely wife, Katakai. So I think there should be respect here. I think it should be made of the finest materials. I know that Dean Lipton was very open-minded and had lived a rich and full life. So he would be thrilled. I'm sure he'd be thrilled. There was a strap-on or a harness made in his honor, the Katakai. So I just think my only insistence is that be made of the finest materials, the very finest materials.
Sort of a higher ticket item.
I think it has to be the highest ticket item.
All right.
I think the Katakai has to be, you're not using brass, you're using gold.
All right.
The leather has to be found.
Human leather.
Human leather.
I don't think our skin is actually thick enough to make a functional bondage harness. Not that I've put a lot of thought into it.
Mine is after being on this podcast.
Yeah.
I've toughened him up real nice. He's ready to be turned into a skin suit. Yes, the Katakai is made of gorily leather, gold fittings. Make sure it has a good cock cage on it, and make sure you get that welder on the phone to get the very finest materials. Get Lou on the line and make sure that this is fuckable pipe. Jesus, this is terrible. What an awful conversation, and yet at the same time, also quite beautiful.
One last thing before we go. Last night, I don't know
what happened last night.
Well, I made something for you, Conan.
Oh, look at that!
It's a
is
little
that a butt harness?
No, it's a bulldog harness, but I would make you a butt harness if you asked nicely.
What's a bulldog harness? It's green. It's St. Patrick's Day green. It's
I figured you'd look like a submissive little leprechaun in it, which is all anyone's ever wanted. So it goes.
Oh my God!
It goes over your chest like this.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah,
I love that.
Is that what you just connect a leash to or something?
You can, yeah. You can.
Oh, you know what?
This is my. By it.
This is my fetish. I would wear that, okay? And I'd be restrained, and I'd be saying to my mistress, I want me pot of gold. And she'd be saying, you can't have your pot of gold. And I'd say, I want me pot of gold. And she'd say, no pot of gold for you. And I would say, I want me pot of gold.
You get the pot of gold when I say you get the pot of gold, and no sooner.
And exactly. I love the submissive leprechaun. That's going to be my new character. I hope this brings that out in you. I'm sure it will. I'll wear it every day under my shirt, and my fans will know I'm wearing it. Emma, delight talking to you, and you're clearly very gifted, and you're out there letting people be themselves and letting people let their inner selves out and flourish. That's very nice. You're doing good work. So
thank you.
Onward and upward for you, Emma.
Thanks, Dad. Sorry, I just made it weird.
I'll call it.
It wasn't weird before.
It's finally weird.
Yeah. Well. So.
Sorry, should I have said Daddy?
I think it's. Oh God. All right.
I'll see myself out. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to a Catholic mass right now.
Right.
Don't forget your little harness.
Don't worry, I've got the harness already.
Nothing weird happens at Catholic masses.
Okay, Emma. That's it. I'm done with you, Emma.
I love Emma.
Emma, you're the best. Seriously, thank you very much.
Oh, man.
All right, see y'all.